102. Aaron Judge is listed at 282 pounds, 102 pounds more than you. But somehow you two have decided that after home runs you would celebrate by jumping in the air and slamming your arm against his. So how on earth did you decide that this was going to be your celebration with him?
I don't think that was ever really talked of, but I see that they do it all the time, and so if I were to hit a home run, I see him getting ready to go, and I can't not do it.
Yeah. Numbers have a lot of significance in sports. They're sewn into the fabric of the game and onto the backs of its legendary athletes. Numbers often represent insurmountable milestones, unforgettable dates, and unbelievable moments that live forever in glory. But what if there's more to these numbers and icons than meets the eye? I'm Gracie Cashman, and this is the story of my number. Joining us today is New York Yankees shortstop Anthony Volpe. Anthony, thanks for joining us here on the story of my number.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions about your life, career, and everything in between that we've uncovered. And of course, they're all centered on numbers. Some of the numbers might be familiar to you, others will seem like a total mystery. You won't know every number, but they all add up to tell your story.
Okay.
So Anthony, are you ready?
I think.
Perfect. 11. Low numbers have a hallowed place in New York Yankees history. You wear number 11. So Anthony Volpe, tell us the story of your number.
When I got called up and at a spring training, my head was all over the place. The last thing I was thinking of was what number I was going to be, but Riz and Judgy pulled me over and they're like, where's your heads at? What are you thinking? And I was like, I don't even know what's available. I don't even know how this works. And then they kind of brought up that they thought 11 would be a good number, and I didn't even really know if it was available or how that all worked. And then I think the most important thing was I got to call Brett Gardner up on the phone and just ask for his blessing, and then thank him for treating Judgy and all the guys that treated me so well. He was the one that treated them well and taught them how to treat the young players. So even though he wasn't there, I wasn't able to be teammates with him, I definitely still felt his effect on the clubhouse, and hopefully one day I can pass that on and keep that legacy alive.
That's such a great story. When you were younger, you wore 7, is that correct?
Yes. My grandfather's favorite player is Mickey Mantle, so he definitely heavily pushed me in that direction.
120. You were about 120 minutes old when an adult-sized Yankee cap was gently placed on your head by your Uncle Ricky. Tell us about your Yankees fan lineage and something about Uncle Ricky.
He loves that picture and he loves it. It's just fun to sit around the table and hear my parents tell stories of when they were in medical school together. It wasn't when the Yankees were the best, but they would sit in the bleachers and they'd have these all-time stories of the original bleacher creatures and some of the stuff they'd hear. And one time my mom caught a Tino Martinez home run ball, and then they were the people waiting outside of the players' lot because she wanted to get it signed. Stuff like that, but it plays a really big part in our family and what keeps us tight, and Uncle Ricky was at the forefront of that, and having my little cousins, his kids, be around so much and get to meet all the guys and all the players, and hopefully make some memories for them that when they get older and they could tell everyone.
Did she get that ball signed by Tino?
I think she did, and I think to this day she still says he smelled the best of anyone she's ever saw.
After a game, too, that's high praise. That's just his natural scent. 733. You spent your early years living in Manhattan, where the average apartment size is 733 square feet. But that didn't stop your dad from turning it into a makeshift training ground. How did he make the most of a tight space and teach you the game?
Yeah, we might have had the under on the 733 in our apartment, which my mom hated that we were playing. We called it baby ball or whatever. We had the little Silvernier bats is what I'd use, and then we'd use these little beanbag baseballs, and I'd be running all over the place. I still owe my mom a vase she got from Italy when they were on their honeymoon or whatever that I broke playing baby ball, and hopefully I'll be good for that the next time we go. I could get her something nice, but I'm still in the red to her for that one.
Your father has said that your sister Olivia is the best athlete in the family. Tell us something about her.
That's probably true. She played 3 varsity sports for all 4 years of her high school, and she's like the smartest person I've ever been around too, so she'd support me so much. So like high school basketball is like my sport that I got to support. It was in the winter right after school, so me and like all my aunts and uncles and parents, we go to the games and like be your personal cheering section.
105. The website Daily Paws lists 105 different dog names inspired by Star Wars. Your family has a mini golden doodle named Jedi. Tell us about Jedi, and I assume you named him?
Yes. So Jedi's like the best. It was supposed to be my dog, which I had to like do the whole like fight for everything and do the whole presentation while I'm gonna take care of it and my whole plan. And right away, he just gravitated towards my mom, and she's like the alpha dog in the house, and he's obsessed with her. But the story behind Jedi is when we lived in the city when I was little, I was like the kid every year for Santa, like all I want is a dog. Like I always said, the dog's name's gonna be Jedi.
345. An X account called Volpe's Chicken Parmesan has 345 followers. While your mom's signature chicken parmesan has become a big part of your story, what many people don't know is that your mom isn't actually Italian. She was born in the Philippines. As a self-described mama's boy, can you tell us how important your mom has been to you on your journey? And are there any Filipino dishes you use to help your game?
Yes and yes. One thing about the Filipino and Italian combination family is it's huge and it's very tight-knit, so she does everything for everyone, and she's the most selfless person I've ever met in my entire life. And I definitely, me or my sister, or really anyone in our family, I don't think would be able to do the things that they do or whatever they're passionate about without her, and can't really put into words. It's just what you feel, and you always have someone to talk to about whatever's going on. For Filipino foods, she's an amazing cook. She can cook really anything, along with my Tita Jazz, who definitely has to get a shout out. My favorite's like, it's called like adobo ribs, but at this point, a lot of the guys on the team, they've all come over and they all know her, and I'm starting to get the Filipino food out into the clubhouse, into the team. Yeah, it's really, really good, really good.
Be honest, how much do you actually like chicken parm?
Honestly, now probably a lot less than when I did. No, I love it. I love it. If I'm going out to eat at like an Italian restaurant, that's what I'm getting.
It's old reliable chicken parm.
Yeah, exactly.
Really. The Story of My Number is presented by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Please play responsibly. You must be 18 or over. .30. You were drafted 30th overall by the New York Yankees in 2019. How did you feel being drafted by the team you rooted for as a kid?
Yeah, it was very, very surreal. I think like the draft was on a Thursday, our high school graduation was a Sunday, and then our state final for baseball was like that following Wednesday or something. So it was a really fun week, and we kind of waited to celebrate till after we won the state championship, and then I went down to Tampa. But it was a really fun time and memories I'll have with those guys and those people forever.
374,800. Upon being drafted, the Yankees signed you to a contract, $374,800 over your draft slot. What was the first thing you bought with that money?
Well, I got a car.
Oh.
I got a truck, and then I sold it like a year and a half after.
You didn't like it?
Well, I loved it, but it was great in Tampa, and then driving in the city,
okay.
I'm on the GW bridge driving like this, getting all paranoid, so I got a good deal to sell it. So
Did you get a different car, like a smaller one, or you just took the money and ran?
No, a smaller car.
Good for you. 215. You hit just 215 in 34 games in Low A Pulaski in 2019. Then in 2021, you tore through the minors, hitting 27 homers in 109 games. In between, you met hitting coach Jason Lefkowitz. Tell us about your relationship and how he has transformed your game.
I mean, COVID was a really hard year. I think we're one of the only teams that, it was like you said, it was my first season, just got drafted. I was so excited to have a first off season and get into my first full year of pro ball, and then 2 weeks into camp, we get sent home with kind of no real direction. And pretty early on, I kind of got the vibe that we weren't really going to have anything. And I wanted to take advantage of and really make it a separator for me and work on stuff that you don't necessarily get to work on with always having games, always having a season, always having stuff to prepare for. So I got really lucky. I got hooked up with Jason, like you said, and we just got to work every single day. I think it was at least 5 days a week, some days on the weekends too, but we were in the cage for 5-6 hours a day, just rewiring stuff and just getting to a spot where I felt like I could do damage and be successful and be the player and that I felt like I had in me. So looking back now, I'm so grateful for that time and to be able to meet him. And then as we've progressed year by year, we just keep working and it's been amazing.
134. Before being teammates on the Yankees, you and Austin Wells played together in 134 minor league games across 3 different minor league teams. Tell us about your friendship with Austin.
Yeah, I think a lot happened in those 134 games in the minor leagues, and we went from really not knowing each other at all that first after COVID spring training to we had like the time of our lives in low A living in Tampa, and we got so close, that whole team, the Tarpons, and then going to high A where on the off days he kind of started to get experience to my family and everybody, and we go home on the off days, play golf, into double A. Everyone lived at my house, and that was like an insanely fun year. And then since we've been in New York, it's just been a continuation, which I think is the best part. Nothing's really changed. It's just gotten more fun and bigger, and being able to do it in front of a lot more people, and probably a lot more people just asking questions about the stuff that we're doing, but it's a lot of fun.
0. When you went to buy your first tailored suit for Yankees road trips, it cost you approximately $0. Can you tell us the story of why it was free?
Yeah, Matt Nimer, who helps me out with everything, set me up with the team. Taylor Sean, who's like the best of all time and has helped me a lot. It's like the coolest experience ever. You feel like James Bond or like the Kingsman or something. I didn't really know how it all worked or how much it costed or everything, but when I went, they said that Judge took care of everything, and they said kind of similar to what Gardy did. I'm not sure which player did it for him, but when he was a rookie, someone took care of him in the same way. So I think with everything, I'm just so excited to one day be in that position and pay Judgy back and to pay it forward to the future generation and to keep it going. You
didn't have a tailored suit at all before?
Well,
no. What'd you wear to prom?
We had like these rented tuxes.
Really?
Yeah.
You wore a full tux to prom?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like every single kid wore a tux.
Huh.
They brought these rented tux people into the school, and that's how you did it. And then they came back and picked them all up like the week after.
Wait, that's, I think, niche. Maybe my school did it weird, but I think it was your school that did it weird, to be honest.
Del Barton's bougie.
Yeah.
Bougie like that.
That is crazy.
The story of my number is presented by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Please play responsibly. You must be 18 or over.
$102. Aaron Judge is listed at 282 pounds, 102 pounds more than you. But somehow you two have decided that after home runs you would celebrate by jumping in the air and slamming your arm against his. We know that you have really fun, complex handshakes with other players, so how on earth did you decide that this was going to be your celebration with him?
I don't think that was ever like really talked of, but I see that they do it all the time, and so if I were to like hit a home run, I see him getting ready to go, and I can't not do it.
Yeah.
So now it's just like a thing, and it's funny because now Belly hits right in front of Judge, and he got hurt doing that in the World Series one year. So he just gives him like a little, like he doesn't really match the, which is probably smart, but.
Doesn't have the same energy
I think it's just
anymore.
Organic, yeah.
Okay, I need to know more about the team handshakes. Who's in charge of making them? Like, how does it happen? Do they just happen organically? Do you practice them?
I think I have 3. No, I probably have more. But me and Judgy have one. Our like favorite tennis player is Ben Shelton, and he like hangs up the phone on like the people he beats. So we do that. Jazz created one for us, but it's just simple. And me and Wellesley have one. That's like a really big inside joke. They're all just really quick and simple. The rest of them, like, they're just very organic. I mean, Judge has like one with every single guy, which is like so cool. I don't know how he thinks of it.
Anthony, I've known you for many years, and we still don't have a handshake. Can we come up with a signature handshake?
Sure.
Perfect. It's back, back, and then front, front.
Okay.
And then you go for like a normal handshake. but then you do this and then snap.
Okay. I'm bad at snapping.
And then it's like this. Like a...
more?
Yeah, but you like push off. Back, back, front, front.
That was good.
That was a good
The
snap
final
at
one
the
was
end.
good.
13. You stole your first 13 bases in the majors without being caught, a Yankees rookie record. Much of your success is due to a unique type of lead you use. We've heard it referred to as both a vault lead and a momentum lead. Which term do you prefer, and tell us what makes the Volpe vault lead so special?
Well, when you say Volpe vault lead, it sounds good, I guess. But we always said, like, in the minor leagues, momentum. It's really like cool part of, I think, my development and the whole minor league organization's development with how we approach base running and base stealing. And it was kind of a lost art. People really didn't steal bases or move around. Matt Tellerico was our like minor league base running coordinator, and he really was amazing with having guys buy in and teaching us. On the field, I can understand why it looks kind of crazy, like we're kind of jailbreaking, but a lot goes into it and a lot of hard work goes into really minimizing the risk, even though it looks really risky, and making sure we can get back and not get picked off, while also really heavily increasing our chances of being safe. It took a lot of hard work. I mean, all of our minor league spring trainings, it'd be 8 a.m. and we're all on the field diving back into bases fully dirty for the rest of our day. And but everyone was bought in and everyone pushed each other to be the best, and we'd have races back and forth, and I think it's been amazing.
I think we should coin Volpe Vault.
Volpe Vault, yeah.
The Volpe Vault lead. And you should tell the coaches that when you're doing it.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Like that guy's doing a Volpe Vault?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Then it'll have its own name. You will have cemented yourself into...
I like it.
3. You are one of 3 rookies at shortstop to win a Gold Glove award. Defense is an often overlooked part of the game. What kind of play on defense gets you the most fired up?
Turning a double play. I think for the pitchers and for the team, just getting out of jams, and even as a hitter, when there's guys on base, the number one thing the pitcher wants to do is to try to get a double play. So to come through and do that for the pitchers and for the team, it just feels the best. Running out the field, it's like the best vibes, best energy in the dugout, and everyone's pumped, and I think it builds a lot of momentum.
Where do you keep your Gold Glove?
It's in my apartment. Yep.
Anywhere specific, like on the mantle or?
Yeah, like right on my dresser.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good place. 4. In Game 4 of the 2024 World Series, you hit a grand slam. Since you aren't married and you have no children, I get to ask, knowing you may actually say yes, was that the best moment of your life?
Well, it's just so bittersweet, even thinking back. It was a crazy moment, and one that like I'll have the ability to share memories and with family and friends, and seeing people down the street that said they were there and at the game, and it feels amazing. But having that moment and then just being so tunnel vision focused, you don't obviously enjoy it in the moment, and you always know what has to be done, and I felt like we knew what had to be done, and then obviously 24 hours later having our season ended, and the only way I think to look at it is you gotta use it to push you and use it to be the best.
So it will be usurped by the World Series win.
Exactly.
The Story of My Number is presented by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Please play responsibly. You must be 18 or over.
At the end of every interview, we do a rapid fire round of trivia. Anthony, are you ready?
No, but let's do it.
You're going to do great. Who did you hit your first home run against?
Varland.
Yes, Louis Varland. In an interview with the New York Post, which Mount Vernon pizza place did you say was your favorite? Johnny's. Is it still your favorite?
For just a sliced pizza, yes, but Lucali, the pizza and the pasta and everything that Mark makes, that's like my favorite restaurant.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Who is your father's favorite New York Yankees player?
Oh, Thurman Munson.
Yes. Who holds the Yankees record for most home runs in a season at shortstop with 27?
Is it Didi?
Yeah, Didi Gregorius. Which Hall of Fame shortstop shares your April 28th birthday?
Barry Larkin?
Yeah. 2 other New York sports legends have the number 11 retired. Who are they?
Mark Messier?
Yes.
What's the team or sport of the other?
My hint is one played for the New York Giants and the other the New York Rangers, so it's a New York Giant.
I'm going to get exposed. Phil Simms?
Yeah.
It is?
Absolutely.
That was no help. That was no help. That was no help.
What Yankees pitcher threw a no-hitter wearing number 11?
Doc Gooden.
Can you name the other 2 shortstops to win the Gold Glove as rookies?
Jeremy Pena
Yes.
and
First name Ezekiel.
Tovar.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was he won it last year.
Volpe is an Italian word. What does it mean in English?
Fox.
Yes. 11. Your career is just getting started, but you already hold a special place in Yankees lore. With that being said, what do you hope number 11 stands for in the minds of Yankees fans across the world when your career is over?
What makes the numbers on the back special is the logo on the front, and playing for the city and for the organization and for the New York Yankees and what it stands for means everything in the world, and it's what makes, I know, everyone in the clubhouse so proud, all the support staff and everyone behind the scenes that works so hard, and we have a championship standard, and I just want to be associated with winning World Series, and when you're able to do that, then everything else takes care of itself.
Anthony, thank you so much for talking to us today. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much. It was so much fun. Awesome. Thank you. You killed it.
Anytime. Thank you. Here's some numbers you may have missed on today's episode. Anthony name-checked Aaron Judge, or Judgy, 7 times. He name-dropped a total of 11 current and former Yankees. He referenced his dog Jedi and Tampa, both 3 times. Uncle Ricky earned 2 mentions. We had 1 reference to James Bond. And our Yankees counter was just 2 today. This episode's numbers are presented by the New York Lottery. What are your lucky numbers?